Welcome back. I'm Clover Frederick, your host for Shape of the City. Now, teaching your own children healthy eating habits and activities can be enough of a challenge, but when you send them off to childcare, you kind of wonder what's happening there. Today I have a couple of guests with me who are working on an initiative called NAP SACC. Now, I have with me Emily Hulse from Teach Kid to Fish and Danny Martin from the Malone Center. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Emily, tell us a little bit. Tell me what NAP SACC stands for, and then tell me about the Go NAP SACC program.
Okay. Well, NAP SACC stands for Nutrition and Physical Activity Self-Assessment for Childcare. NAP SACC started in North Carolina about 10 years ago, so it's been around for a while. It is a research evidence-based program. It helps childcare programs to kind of work through a process, and the process includes the key components of a self-assessment where they kind of look at what are their strengths and what are some areas they can work on when it comes to nutrition and physical activity at their program. And then it includes continuing education workshops and opportunities. That includes skill building activities. And then through the self-assessment piece and those workshops, we identify some goals for those childcare programs based on the key areas that are included on the assessment. And then my job is to help those programs to meet their goals, to provide resources and things. So NAP SACC helps to kind of improve and promote a healthy environment when it comes to nutrition and physical activity. The key areas now include breastfeeding and infant feeding, child nutrition, the physical activity, and outdoor play and screen time. So those are the areas that are included on the assessments and that are involved when it comes to the training. And like I said, it is kind of a process that these child care programs go through and provides them with resources.
Okay, now tell me how it got started here in Lincoln.
Yeah, so Teach a Kid to Fish, like I said, the nonprofit organization that I work for, our mission is to prevent and reduce childhood obesity by helping kids and families to have the resources they need when it comes to healthy eating and activity. So we received state funding in 2011 to work with 5 child care centers to kind of pilot this. Like I said, this program was already developed and based on research and stuff, and other states can adapt it, but nobody in Lincoln had really used it with their child care centers. So we started, like I said, in 2011 and had great success with the 5 pilot child care centers that we worked with, so we wanted to continue to do that.
Okay, now what are the ultimate goals of the program?
So the ultimate goals, like I said earlier, since NAP SACC is kind of a process, and the child care program kind of chooses what goal areas are important to them, as well as guidance from myself as their NAP SACC trainer. We want to help the child care program to meet their goals. So everybody's goals are a little bit different, and there's different types of child care programs. So it is a little bit dependent on each scenario, but yeah, we want to be able to provide the resources and training that they need. NAP SACC is unique, and there's not very many other opportunities for child care programs to get this sort of training or resources. So yeah, we are there to help them meet their chosen goal areas.
Okay, well, now that you've been doing this for a while, what would you say is the key to being successful if a child care provider would like to start this?
Yeah, I think it a lot of times comes down to the child care director or owner or manager, kind of that key lead person, and their staff. How motivated are they? How much time do they have to devote to NAP SACC? Do they have the support of the parents and the staff and the kids at their center? And that is a big key to being able to implement all of their chosen goal areas.
Where have you seen the most impact so far?
And I think that goes a little bit back to the question I was just answering, because a lot of times it is those sites that are really involved, that kind of take NAP SACC and run with it, that are able to make a lot of changes. We have been able over the past 4 years been able to work with about 40 child care centers in Lincoln, reaching around 300 staff and 3,000 children between those 40 sites. So we usually try to work with about 10 programs a year. So that's great considering there's, I think, about 140 child care centers in the Lincoln area. So we've reached about a fourth of them. So we continue
If we have somebody who has a child care center that's watching, how would they learn more about incorporating this program?
Yeah, so they can learn more by going to, we have 2 different websites where it'd be helpful. They can go to the teachakidtofish.org website, which will be included at the end here, and contact us through that. And then we also have a Nebraska Go NAP SACC website, and that address will be included also, where they can go online and register a free account and get started by completing that self-assessment tool and everything. So.
Great. Well, now let's talk to Danny for a little bit. You're with the Malone Center. Tell us a little bit more about the Malone Center.
The Malone Center is a community center that serves the multicultural and low-income youth and elderly of the Lincoln community. We have several programs. The one I work most closely with is the after-school program, where we have kids from 5 or 6 different schools around the Malone area. We pick them up from their schools and bring them to the center, and we have nutrition programs and homework help and fitness activities for them to do while they're there, and then we take them home afterwards. And so yeah, it's just a great place for kids to be while they wait for their parents to get off of work.
Now, Danny, tell us how the Malone Center has incorporated Go NAP SACC.
Well, as the nutritionist and cook at the Malone Center with the after-school program, I was connected with Emily through the child and adult food program in Lincoln. They told me that we're doing really wonderful things with our program, and that thought we could use some of the resources that Go NAP SACC had. So Emily and I started with a self-assessment, just talking about the things that we're doing well and just areas that we can improve on. And then the next time she came back to the Malone Center, she had a couple carts full of boxes, full of wonderfully colorful resources. And actually, Emily has a couple here. One of my favorites is called The 2-Bite Club. Is a book just illustrating that if we haven't tried something, maybe we should try at least 2 bites of this new food and see if we like it, because our taste buds change. So that was a real hit, especially with the younger kids. And at the Malone Center, in conjunction with the after-school program during the summer, we have the kids there full days. And I had the kids read these storybooks with me, and then we were trying 2 bites of everything for breakfast and 2 bites of everything for lunch. And just now and then the kids were like, oh, I didn't know I liked tomatoes. So these resources really played a vital role.
Great. And now the resources were free to you, correct?
The resources were all free, yeah. They were all, as a nonprofit center, yeah, it's difficult to come by, especially colorful resources, and Emily provided all of these resources for free. And another one of my favorites that she provided us with was this Healthy Foods cookbook, and it's just got dozens upon dozens of recipes for child care centers that actually tells you how much to put in for 50 kids. So it's a really helpful resource.
Now, Danny, tell us a success story that you're seeing at the Malone Center.
Well, with all of these resources, some of them work together really well. Emily provided us some gardening education books, and along with those and this wonderful Healthy Recipes book, I had a really great day with one of the kids where we ventured out into the garden with some of the reading materials, and we were talking about the plants. And that particular day, we were having for lunch, we were having red lentil tomato soup, and that was from this book. And in the garden, we were picking basil for the soup, and as we were chopping up the basil, as I was chopping up the basil in the kitchen, and she was watching, we put it in the soup, and we tried it, and just the way her eyes lit up, it was just the most miraculous thing. Just the whole experience for her, from harvesting the basil in the garden to watching it get chopped up to tasting in the soup. It was just one of my favorite days at the Malone Center. So, and that just was completely to do with all these great resources and all of the great help that Emily has provided the Malone Center with. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Great. So you've had a lot of success. What have been some of the challenges with incorporating this into your organization?
I'd probably say just time management. Because Emily brought over so many resources, it was just a little difficult to make time to look through everything right away. So I think it's just child care centers that are interested in getting involved with the NAP SACC program just need to make sure they just take it day by day and don't get overwhelmed by the resources. There are many wonderful things to look through, and yeah, just take your time.
Okay, great. Well, I think the 2-bite idea is something I can definitely incorporate at home. Very
Certainly.
good. Well, now, Emily, tell us what's in store for the future with NAP SACC.
Yeah, so the NAP SACC is a really important program to teach a kid to fish. Like I said, we've seen a lot of success with it, so we want to continue by having local and state funds, we can continue this program, and always looking for more funding to make it even more sustainable and expand our efforts here. So we continue to look for child care programs that are interested. NAP SACC is something that is optional, so it's not required that child programs do this, but it is encouraged, like he said, by people at the state staff with the Child and Adult Care Food Program. We have a lot of partnering organizations throughout the community and state that also help to support our NAP SACC efforts. And like Danny said, everything's free for the child care programs that participate. So the staff earn free in-service hours, and then they get free resources and free technical assistance to help meet their goals. So that is always an advantage for participating programs. Since it is free, then it is doable. And the participating sites we work with are able to earn free related incentives, so physical activity, props, and nutrition education materials and such. So.
Okay, great. Well, now thank you both for coming on the show, and I appreciate all the great work you're doing in the community.
Great, thank you, Clover.
Shape of the City is dedicated to helping Lincoln stay informed of health and wellness topics and events. Visit our calendar at lincoln.ne.gov, keyword 10health. If you'd like to see your event covered, email us at 10healthlincoln@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Until next time, get active, eat healthy, and stay informed.